and welcome to News Round, a recap of stories that made the headlines during the week. I am Will Ibang. Now, relief sweeps across Oriire State and the country at large as abducted Oriire pupils and teachers regain freedom after several weeks in captivity. And President Tinubu directs ICPC to thoroughly investigate the alleged Foreign Investment Council nationwide as the Senate defers action pending the outcome of the probe. House of Representatives erupts as lawmakers clash over move to summon Tinubu on 2027-2025 budget delay. Wildfire leaves a trail of devastation in Spain as 12 die and 23 remain missing while the blaze continues to rage through Los Galados. And that's News Round in View. News Round begins on a joyful note as families in Oriire State across Nigeria celebrate the safe release of the pupils and teachers abducted in Oriire local government area nearly 2 months ago. Their release was announced by the presidency in a statement posted on its official X account, bringing an end to weeks of anxiety and uncertainty. According to the presidency, 8 of the kidnappers were arrested and now in DSS custody, while others were neutralized during the rescue operation. It also stressed that no ransom was paid and no prisoner swap took place, despite demands for the release of a terror kingpin currently facing prosecution. A video released by the presidency shows the rescued pupils and teachers expressing gratitude to President Bola Tinubu.
Hello, sir. Our father, we are grateful. The president, sir, we are grateful. We understand your commitment to our safety, and we appreciate all you did for us. We could see your hand. Thank you very much. And every security operative, they tried so much, and that is why we are still alive now. We are very grateful unto you. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you, sir. God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
And still on the abduction, President Tinubu expresses profound joy over the successful rescue of the abducted pupils and teachers from Oriire community in Ogbomoso, Oyo State, commending the military, the DSS and the police for securing their release after 56 days in captivity without collateral damage. The president described the operation as a major victory against criminality, praised the Oyo State government for its cooperation, and directed emergency agencies to provide medical and psychological support to the victims. Meanwhile, the governor of Oyo State, Makinde, also welcomed the release of the children and teachers, describing it as a heartwarming development for the state and the nation.
Such a big relief for all of us and for those waiting, for this past 57 days. I think is a big relief for all of us, and we'll use the opportunity to say thank you to our service commanders, the Nigerian police, the DSS, the military, and the high command, and of course the president, for pushing really hard, to have this done. I think I'm just right now overjoyed, and I cannot say much. I will talk much later when I can put my thoughts together.
Now over to the Red Chamber, where the senators called on the federal government to suspend the rehabilitation and reintegration program for repentant Boko Haram members, while urging security agencies to intensify efforts to arrest and prosecute terrorists across the country. The resolution followed a motion sponsored by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Army, Senator Abdulaziz Yardua, during plenary. The motion highlighted the rise in attacks, abductions and killings involving serving and retired military personnel, prompting lawmakers to seek stronger measures against terrorism.
Upon resumption from a 3-week recess, lawmakers are officially welcomed back in keeping with parliamentary tradition.
Our retired military personnel.
The rising spate of insecurity circles back into focus as Senator Abdulaziz Yardua sounds an alarm over the increasing wave of attacks targeting serving and retired military officers.
The Senate further notes with grave concern the growing pattern of abductions, killings and violent attacks against serving and retired military personnel across the country.
We are walking the streets as walking cops because anything can happen to anybody. There is an urgent need for the leadership of this Senate to meet with Mr. President and re-emphasize the concern of Nigerians. Otherwise, quite frankly, it's becoming in an election year. Anything can happen to anybody.
Following robust deliberations, the Senate further resolved to ensure arrest and prosecution of those responsible for the violent attacks.
Your additional prayers to stop rehabilitation Boko Haram.
Yes, it does not make evil common sense to grant pardon and rehabilitate and reintegrate criminals.
Those in favor of the prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
By the same token, the xenophobic attacks in South Africa was another deep concern for the lawmakers following a motion sponsored by Senator Asukwo Ekpeyo.
The Senate observes that the indiscriminate targeting of foreign nationals, including lawful residents, demonstrate that the campaign cannot be regarded merely as immigration enforcement, but constitutes xenophobic hostility based on nationality and perceived foreign origin.
Nigeria and Nigerians should be the centerpiece of our foreign policy. Any harm to any Nigerian should be taken seriously.
Lawmakers appeared united in their call for tougher measures against South Africa.
As we are talking today, over 1,200 Nigerians are already being evacuated. And what does the government do? Caution. Caution what? Caution what? Are we not Nigerians? Don't Nigerians deserve to live in other countries? Even if they are armed robbers, even if they are criminals, are they supposed to be killed? Yet, the cornerstone of Nigerian foreign policy is Africa. But that has to change. We can't allow our people to call, we take taxpayers' money to pay compensation when South Africa investment and profit is being taken away. I urge that the profit be appropriated and use it to settle those who have been brutally destroyed, business burnt, life lost.
Whatever we need to do, we need to be very careful. So maybe they have a problem. They are brothers, we helped them before, we can still help them.
It doesn't mean that our decision must coincide with your opinion with profound respect.
We should allow our Committee on Foreign Affairs to investigate. Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Look at the entire scenario, the conspiracy angle to what is happening, and once we've gotten the necessary information, well-informed facts, then we can take action in line with what you've said.
The lawmakers are eventually compelled to backtrack.
Centers Act Amendment Bill 2020.
The Senate now awaits recommendations from the committee to determine the next line of legislative action. From the National Assembly, Gloria Umuzuke, Channels Television News.
Now, as debate over state policing continues across the country, the Red Chamber says it remains confident that the proposed state police bill will receive the necessary support to become law. Deputy Senate President Barrel Jibrin disclosed that the bill will be transmitted to the 36 state houses of assembly within the next 2 weeks. He maintained that the National Assembly has no regrets over the landmark legislation, describing it as a crucial step towards strengthening security nationwide.
Lingering concerns over the implementation of state police have continued to shadow the bill more than 3 weeks after it was passed by the Senate. However, the Deputy Senate President maintains that the decision will not be one the country regrets.
This bill was well crafted, well thought out.
And there will be no regrets?
There will not be regrets. It's a product of collaboration, large-scale collaboration, robust collaboration among several stakeholders, including police experts, legislative experts, people that have sound background in police system in the area of government. And that's why you saw the massive support on the floor of the Senate that day. Only one dissented. And later he came to even say, oh, I'm not dissenting any longer. I'm abstaining.
He underscores that the safeguards inherent will expunge nagging fears of exploitation by state governors.
It's not possible. It's no longer, going to be like the State Electoral Commission. No. You have, if you look at the bill, you have what we call the national minimum standard that shall be specified in an act of National Assembly. And no state police service can be allowed to go below the national minimum standard. When it does so, when that is done, when it derails, of course, the president can invoke the relevant section to get the police service of that state disabled. We are yet to come to the issue of funding. It will be specified in the Act of National Assembly. We are coming there. All that will be discussed through robust interaction and conversation with relevant stakeholders.
State police, according to him, will curb terrorism and address other existing gaps in the federal policing structure.
You talk about Zamfara. You have police force service that has been dominated by the people of Zamfara, who know every corner of that area. It will change the entire scenario for the better. Once the House gets done with it, then it will move to the states. And I can assure you, even before them probably, there's much anticipation, very, very high level of willingness on the part of important stakeholders to get this bill passed. So everybody is ready.
Lawmakers in the upper chamber at the resumption of plenary this week are expected to make the implementation of state police a legislative priority by harmonizing all aspects with the House of Representatives. From the National Assembly, Gloria Omezuke, Channels Television News.
President Bola Tinubu has directed the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, to investigate the activities of the alleged Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, PFIPC, describing it as a fictitious body with no legal backing or official government approval. The President has given the ICPC 30 days to complete its investigation into allegations including forgery, impersonation, abuse of official identity, and the use of fraudulent documents. Meanwhile, the Senate has resolved to await the outcome of the ICPC investigation before taking further action on the controversies surrounding the Council and its inclusion in the 2026 appropriation bill.
For weeks, accusations and counter-accusations have trailed the existence of what authorities have now declared a fake agency, a Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, purportedly headed by Mr. Adeyemi.
Arise to lead debate.
As lawmakers resumed plenary, questions continue to mount over how the purported agency secured a budgetary allocation. This was the central concern raised by Senator Ismaila Kawu in a motion.
Over 1.3 billion naira for an entity now officially claimed by the government to be non-existent. Concerns that inclusion of purported non-existent or unauthorized entity in the national budget undermines the credibility of the appropriation process, accountability, and fiscal governance.
The lawmaker is pushing that the Senate launch full investigation surrounding the inclusion of the agency into the 2026 budget, but it was declined.
The marching order has been given, and I think ICPC has started. To me, I believe that what we need to do at this stage is to have the report of the ICPC, and then we can act on that report and deal with it as we feel appropriate. Is it of the view that we take this stance? Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Separately, the Senate considered a bill seeking to strengthen legal framework against counterfeit medicines, fake drugs, and unsafe processed foods.
One of the major strengths of this bill lies in its deterrent provisions. It prescribes penalties of up to 15 years imprisonment, substantial fines running into millions of naira, and mandatory compensation for victims or their families where death or grievous bodily harm results from commission of these offenses.
I would have thought that what we should be looking at today is, if we feel that the NAFTA, there are lacunas in the NAFTA Act, is to amend the NAFTA Act, not to start repeating the same thing that NAFTA is empowered to do.
There should be a nexus between this bill and NAFTA to show that NAFTA is supportive of this bill and they are working in the same direction.
The legislation outlaws the sale and hawking of drugs in authorized locations, including markets, motor parks, roadside stalls, buses, or unlicensed online platforms.
Those in support that this bill be now read a second time say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The Senate also received the report of the Senate Committee on Customs.
2026 budget estimates of the Nigerian Customs Services is hereby approved.
A budget of 1.29 trillion naira and revenue target of 11 trillion naira is approved. From the National Assembly, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Now, still ahead on News Round, chaos in the House of Representatives as lawmakers clash over the move to summon President Tinubu on the 2025 budget delay. Stay with us, don't go away. Welcome back, and now to the Green Chambers, where the House of Representatives descended into a rowdy session as lawmakers debated a motion on the poor implementation of the 2025 budget and delays in the release of funds to ministries, departments and agencies. The motion, sponsored by Abia lawmaker Mascot Ikweche, proposed inviting President Bola Tinubu to address the House on the matter. The recommendation sparked heated exchanges among lawmakers, leading to a tense and disorderly sitting.
Plenary at the House of Representatives commences with an oath-taking ceremony for a new member from Kano State following the death of the previous representative.
So help me God.
After the formal process, proceedings for the day kick-starts with a lawmaker from Delta State noting a circular from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, putting a stop to funding of constituency projects.
I want to urge this House to agree that we summon Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria together with his financial team to please come to this House in line with the provision of the Constitution to brief Nigerians exactly what is happening, because the stories are not complimentary at all.
His motion did not enjoy the buy-in of members.
Mr. Speaker, we have a
Next is a motion calling for the probe of the activities of the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council.
Constitute an ad hoc committee to investigate how any provision attributable to the entity entered the 2026 appropriation framework with a mandate to trace the provision from the executive budget proposal to the National Assembly through committee considerations to pass it and to identify the stage at which it was introduced.
Lawmakers called for a thorough investigation on the establishment of the council, especially the budgetary allocation.
An address that shows Federal Secretariat does not mean that that particular agency is legal. It means that we have to do our job as proposed by that motion. The need to investigate deeper about how they got to where they got to with regards to our budget, how they got to where they got to with regards to the engagement they have with various government officials.
Coming on the motion of urgent public importance, a lawmaker from Abia State decries the non-implementation of the nation's budget and non-release of funds to government departments. He wants the president to appear before the Green Chambers to provide explanations.
Today we all remember that security agencies are not being funded. Our people are kidnapped every day. Heads are being chopped off on national television. We want to invite the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as our father to come and explain to us why we are spending trillions of naira doing roads, why we are spending billions of naira doing coastal roads, yet Nigerians are dying.
The matter leads to a rowdy session in the chamber. After about 30 minutes, the speaker overrules his prayers and constitutes an ad hoc committee to investigate the matter.
What Honorable Masco read was a complete deviation from the motion that he gave me, upon which I gave him the right to bring this particular motion before you. This is unparliamentary, and we should desist from doing so.
2 ad hoc committees were constituted. The first committee will investigate the controversial Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, and another committee will investigate the delayed release of funds to government ministries, agencies, and departments. Sarah Achimugu, Channels Television News.
And the Nigerian Army is marking its 163rd anniversary with a renewed commitment to professionalism, operational excellence, and national security. The grand finale of the celebrations took place in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, where the Army showcased its capabilities and achievements. Representing President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to strengthening the armed forces through sustained investment in modern military equipment, improved troop welfare, and intelligence-driven operations to address the country's evolving security challenges.
From its origin as a Global Hausa force in 1863, the Nigerian Army has transformed into one of Africa's foremost military institutions, playing a pivotal role in safeguarding Nigeria's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Today, Port Harcourt hosts officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army alongside military chiefs from 15 countries. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo, former chiefs of Army staff, retired senior military officers, government officials, and members of the diplomatic corps as they celebrate the Army's 163 years of dedicated service. The grand finale begins with a presidential parade, precision drills, and tactical combat displays, showcasing the professionalism and operational readiness of the Nigerian Army. Representing President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima arrives at the venue with a renewed assurance that the federal government will continue investing in modern military hardware, improved personnel welfare, and intelligence-led operations to strengthen the armed forces in addressing Nigeria's evolving security challenges.
This administration is committed to modernizing our army to enhance its capacity to meet contemporary security challenges. We therefore align with the aim of the great minds event management to amplify Nigeria's leadership in defense diplomacy and to enhance our Army's operational capabilities through shared expertise.
For the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu, the 163rd anniversary reflects not only the Army's rich history, but also the unwavering commitment to national security. He notes that the Nigerian Army has continued to record major operational gains against insurgency, terrorism, banditry, and other emerging threats, revealing that more than 80% of Army personnel are presently deployed across various operational theaters nationwide.
This year's Nigerian Army Day celebration is protecting the nation and serving the people, a way forward for the Nigerian Army. reflecting our enduring promise to Nigeria. The Nigerian Army has consistently demonstrated resilience and adaptability. Our personnel have served with distinction both at home and abroad, upholding the highest standard of professionalism and patriotism.
Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says the choice of Port Harcourt as host city underscores the improving security situation in the state. He commends President Bola Tinubu for supporting the armed forces through sustained efforts to tackle insecurity and strengthen the nation's defense architecture.
The Nigerian Army has displayed professionalism today, have shown expertise, have shown improvements in technology and manpower development.
And with the week-long activities marking Army Day over today, in the words of the Chief of Army Staff, the most priority attention of the Army is to secure lives and property. From the Yakubu Gowon Stadium in Port Harcourt, Deborah Mie-Fiberesima, reporting for Channels Television.
Our news round ends in Spain, where authorities are battling a devastating wildfire that has claimed at least 12 lives, with 23 others still missing. Reports indicate that 4 of the victims are British nationals, as emergency responders continue efforts to contain the blaze around Los Galados in Almeria. About 1,000 residents have been evacuated and several roads closed as the fire continues to threaten nearby communities. Officials say the blaze is largely under control for now, but warn that strong winds could worsen the situation. The wildfire comes amid an intense European heat wave, with temperatures reaching about 40 degrees Celsius in parts of Spain. And that's it on News Round. I am Will Ibang. Thanks for watching.